Hey, what is up guys, this is Thunderstruck115, and today I have got an exciting new video for you. In today's video, we have some information about the Zombies map Classified, the map that's going to be available at launch for those who have purchased the Black Ops Pass. Now, I do want to quickly apologize for the lack of content over the past few days, because I have been in school, and you know, the first few weeks are always crazy, and I haven't really had much time to sit down and make a video. And also, I've kind of been burned out a bit on zombies, and honestly, I'm not really feel excited to play it until BO4 launches. Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for Black Ops 4, but it's finding really hard just to play some of the older zombies maps after we've played it for so long. But Black Ops 4 will definitely bring a breath of fresh air. But anyways, let's get back on topic. So the information came from a Reddit post that went live yesterday. I'll link it in the description below if you want to read it for yourself. But yeah, anyways, I know some of you don't want this information to be revealed to you as it'll spoil it or something. So if you don't want to know what this is about, then you can go ahead and click off the video right now. I won't be offended. Okay, so if you are still here, I'm assuming that you want to know what this information is, or you just don't care about having it spoiled. Personally, I really want to know some of this stuff too. I've already read the posts over it, so now I'm going to compile a video and chime in some of my thoughts. So, it says Classified will have a loading screen that features Samantha Maxis. Now, I'm not really going to go into detail because I'm not really a storyline guru. I just keep up with it enough so I know what the heck is going on. Next, the layout of Classified is similar to that of 5, however there are multiple new and updated rooms as well as an entirely new Pack-a-Punch area. I'm pretty sure we all expected that, because I mean, with the information that we got about Classified from Jason Blundell, I'm pretty sure we all expected that to be the case. So, next it says the spawn, or at least what used to be the spawn in the original 5. Nearby is the first new room where a teleporter and the first perk machine can be found. So, I'm pretty sure the teleporter he is referring to is the one that we saw on the map 5 hidden behind the weird little television screens. When you turn on the power, it gets revealed. However, it could be different, because it does say there's a new room. Anyways, it also does say that another perk machine can be found. Now, I'm pretty sure Jason Blundell that said that even in the Aether storyline maps that we would be getting the perk Vapor system. Of course, I do think there are going to be machines in this. I'll have to read ahead and tell you, but yeah. So, next it says increased debris. Again, if there's more rooms, there's probably going to be increased debris. I mean, that's hardly a shock. Next it says the War Room. New wall-buy weapons. Again, I'm pretty sure we expected that with more expanded areas. Second perk machine. A large globe with red shining lights can be found on the ceiling. An area that is locked via a keypad and requires a code for entry. Now, I think that bit is very interesting because we've hardly had any doors in Zombies that are not opened either by purchasing them or turning on the power. I mean, in Transit, we did have a couple doors that needed to be opened with a turbine. Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil, we had to shock some little thingy-mabobs just to get the doors open. Buried, there was some debris that we could break with Leroy. Origins, the portals needed to be opened with the gramophone as well as the bottom of excavation. And I guess on Zetsubou-no-Shima as well, you had to get the 2 temporary power things to access the bunker, though I guess that might fall under turning on the power, but not really. And then it also says a new server room featuring a mystery box, a teleporter, and a piece of a buildable trap. So I'm not sure if this is actually going to be an actual buildable, or if it's going to be like in the original 5 where you just have to find a piece, insert it into the trap, and it turns on. I know a lot of people say that's a buildable. I really don't consider it to be a buildable myself, because you're just bringing something into a thing to make it work instead of finding multiple parts and adding them together, but honestly that's a discussion for another time. Next we have the lab. It says buildable parts for the shield, traps, and power switch. So we're going to be having a buildable power switch, and it does seem that we are going to have to actually build the trap. Of course, I could be wrong. I haven't seen gameplay of this. This is just a Reddit post. And then, meanwhile, we will be getting a shield on this map. I'm not sure if a lot of people will be happy about it because the original 5 didn't have a shield, but personally, I think it's probably a good idea to evolve it and make it an entirely new experience. And then it also says full perk machine. Next, we have the old Pack-a-Punch. So we had the office, the conference room, with the red phone and where the original Pack-a-Punch machine was, and where it originally was in 5 is now a buildable part which can be used to amplify the teleporter and take you to the new Pack-a-Punch location, which is cluttered with debris. So I'm not sure if we'll be accessing the old Pack-a-Punch room the same way we did in the original 5, or if it's just another door we have to open, but we will need to open it in order to get to Pack-a-Punch. So next is, alongside Hellhounds, Nova Crawlers will return, and the Nova Gas negates players' movement more than the original. So it doesn't seem like the Pentagon Thief is going to be returning. Instead, we'll be getting Hellhound rounds as well as the Nova Crawlers. I hate the Nova Crawlers, and now it makes it seem like the gas is going to inhibit movement as well as vision. Honestly, I just hope that in Black Ops 4, the Nova Crawlers aren't just freaking crawling tactical nukes like they were in BO3. BO1 was fine, but yeah, writing can be found on the walls of Classified. Die to find the truth, and Richtofen is the key. So I don't know what the Richtofen is the key thing means, honestly. I'm pretty sure Mr. Raffle Waffles is going to take a 15-minute video to explain it, but yeah. Die to find the truth. The only thing I can think of that relates to that would be on Mob of the Dead with the Afterlife mode, but I don't think it's going to be returning in Classified because it really just wouldn't fit. And then monitors around the map show iconic locations from the Aether storyline such as Ascension, Moon, NPD, Zombies, and Richtofen himself, and the TVs also show the location of the mystery box and sometimes the Illuminati symbol. So the TVs are going to do the same thing as they did in the original 5, but we're also going to have monitors showing different little locations from all the zombies, which I think is a really cool and nostalgic thing. Okay, next we have gameplay. They say that these details are not specific to Classified, but they are necessary for the sake of context, and I'm going to be going over them regardless. So it says Double Pack-a-Punch returns. That's all he says on Double Pack-a-Punch. I really hope that they balance it more in Black Ops 4, because in Black Ops 3 you could take literally any bullet weapon and have it kill forever, and honestly all you have to do is just keep training, buying ammo, and you could literally get to any round you want as long as you had a good training spot where you could in fact train. But if they make it so like you have these abilities but they like cap off at like round 30, so like they don't kill in one activation past round 30, I think that would be pretty good. Alright, and next it says, despite using the perk system that the Chaos maps use, the Aether maps use perk machines, not god statues. I am really glad about that. Now, I do like the perk vapor concept where you can choose what perks you have. However, there will be actual machines, which I am glad about, which is my one little irking thing about, because it really wouldn't make sense to replace them with god statues in the Aether storyline maps in BO4. However, if they work exactly the same as the Chaos storyline, but if they are actual machines, then I am really happy about them. And that says, perks in the order which they are present in the map are assigned on a per-player basis. Again, this is explained with the perk vapor system by Jason Lindell himself. And then it goes into a list of new perks. The first is called Bloodlust / Death Wish, and upon losing the last of your health, you are given a second chance and buffs, and it has a cooldown. This sounds really similar to a perk back in World at War Custom Zombies called Guardian Angel Ale, where it's when you take damage you become invincible for like a few seconds, and then there's like a 15-second cooldown or something. But this seems to be when you lose all of your health, and it doesn't say anything about invincibility. However, I'm pretty sure it's going to include things like, for example, extra damage, extra speed, maybe like a little shell shock effect, sort of like in World War II. But I don't know. Next, we have Defensive Tortoise. If the player has equipped the buildable shield, they are protected on all sides, and explosive blast is created upon the shield being destroyed. So basically, this seems like a shield upgrade, and if it has a whole new perk dedicated to it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the shield on every map, and it's really good. Now, it does say that if you have it equipped, so you can't just have it on your back, I don't think. So yeah, and the explosive blast when the shield's destroyed, like I guess like an upgrade of Widow's Wine, I suppose. Next, we have Stronghold, which creates a defensive zone around the player while shooting. So, like, as long as you're just shooting, I guess the zombies either can't hurt you or they, like, slow down or something. Next, we have Widow's Wail. It says, similar to Widow's Wine, taking damage activates a defensive explosion, which freezes zombies, 2 charges for 4 cooldown. It's literally the exact same thing as Wither's Wine. Next we have Perception, which is see zombies through walls and receive an indicator on screen when the zombie is approaching from another direction. This will help when you have that one zombie that sneaks up on you and then quickly hits you faster than the speed of light and makes you go down. That really does get annoying, so this will help with that. And it'll also help with finding the last zombie, though to be honest, I really don't see myself dedicating an entire perk slot to it. Next, we have PhD Slider. Thank the Lord. Now, it says, do I really need to explain? Must be charged by sliding before it can be used. I am glad because this coincides with a leak that we had back during the PC multiplayer beta, where they released a coded list of perks, and the slider was among them, and I'm really glad that this leaks also says something about PhD Slider, because that means it's all the more likely to actually be in the game, and that we'll be getting explosive protection as well as fall damage protection, but instead we have sliding instead of diving. Now it does say that you need to have you charged by sliding. Now I think this makes a lot of sense, because if you just exploded whenever you slid, if the slide hop mechanic is brought back from BO3 into zombies, you could just literally slide everywhere and all the zombies wouldn't be able to touch you because you're too busy blowing them up. Of course, if they nerf the sliding like they did in multiplayer and Blackout, I really don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, but that's just my 2 cents. Bandolier. Carry more reserve ammo. I'm pretty sure that's really straightforward, but it does seem like a very useful perk. Time Slip. Decreased cooldown time on equipment, perks, and teleporters. So I think this is actually a really interesting concept. It does say cooldown on equipment, so I'm not sure if they're doing the grenades like they did in multiplayer, where instead of having a fixed number of grenades, you have an infinite amount, but however, you have to wait for them to cool down. I'm not sure if that's what they're going to be doing here, but perks, the only perks so far that can cool down would be the Bloodlust / Death Wish that I mentioned earlier, and then of course the teleporters, or, well, teleporters. Next, we have new elixirs, which are the Gobblegum replacements. There's one called Control Z, where the nearby zombies will become allies and attack hostile zombies. So basically, you activate this, and it sort of like makes the zombies all like you activated them with turned pack-a-punch ability. But yeah, and then there are 2 that don't have a known name, but one of them is you drop points for teammates to pick up. That just sounds pretty much like extra credit. And then of course the other one is teleport to a downed teammate. Now this is basically a lot like Anywhere But Here, but except it's going to be more useful, because instead of teleporting to a random location and maybe getting next to your downed teammate and maybe teleporting to the exact opposite side of the map, you'll get over to your teammate and you'll be able to revive them with no problems. And then we have something called Talisman modifiers, which is start with certain perks, never lose the perk equipped in X slot, mystery box guarantees, and then 30 plus more. Now, I'm not sure exactly what these Talisman modifiers are. I'm not sure if it's just a weird name for custom mutations, but I'm pretty sure if they were, they would be labeled as such. I'm not sure what these talismans are, but I really hope that they're not something that you can only get out of supply drops, because that would just cause an uproar in the community, and it would make us hate Activision more than we already do. Next, it talks about special weapons: the Katana, the DG5, the Flamethrower, and the Death Machine, increasing strength as zombies are killed using them. Now, this was sort of explained earlier by Jason Blundell, except it was with the Chaos story map, so the Hammer, the Scepter, the Viper and Dragon, and the Chakram of Vengeance, but this time it's just different weapons for the Aether story crew. Now, something I find interesting is that earlier leaks suggested that 3 of the 4 weapons that are mentioned in this post were indeed going to be in there, which would be the Katana, the Flamethrower, and the Death Machine. However, this post mentions something about a DG5, whereas all the other posts I've seen about what special weapons the Aether story crew would be using said we would be getting the Ragnaroks instead. So I'm not sure what this DG5 is. Is it like a new Wonderwaff, or is it like a better version of the Ragnarok DG4s? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait. And then it said, special weapons are used to grant the player armor, and then the Juggernog perk is essentially removed. I don't know how I feel about this. I know that they said something about armor, however, for the Chaos crew, but I mean, in in the Aether storyline, Juggernog is the most iconic perk, and it's just central to all of zombies, and I don't understand why they removed it. I can't really criticize it too much since I haven't played BO4 and I'm not sure how well the system would work, but it does say that special weapons are used to grant the player armor, so if you keep using your weapons, you keep replenishing your armor. I'm not sure if it's going to be like in Blackout, where it protects you and reduces the amount of damage you take. However, after taking so much damage, it will break and you'll need to get more. Or if it's going to work similar to the armor system in World War II zombies, where you have a certain amount of health, but if you lose all your health, you can take further hits with armor. But yeah, and also with the special weapons increasing in strength as the zombies are killed, this means that if you're constantly using your special weapons, then they will remain effective. However, if you neglect to use them, then they won't be as effective in the higher rounds. Next, it says operator weapon mods for multiplayer are usable in zombies. Now, the operator mods were like these super attachments on some weapons. I'm pretty sure on launch all of them will have them. However, it makes me wonder what the double pack-a-punch is again, because I'm thinking that since these operator mods are supposedly super powerful, that maybe when you double pack-a-punch your weapon, you get the operator mod, and it makes the weapon that much more effective. And I could actually see them going along that route. And then it lists a bunch of equipment that are throwable, so grenades, Semtexes, Molotovs, acid grenade, fire grenade, deployable turret, and more. So, grenade, obvious, Semtex, obvious, Molotov, I really hope it's more useful than the ones in World at War, because those just plain sucked. Acid grenade, which we saw in the Voyage of Despair trailer. Fire grenade, I really don't see how that's any different from the Molotov, except maybe it doesn't explode on contact. Deployable turret, I'm not sure how effective that'll be, but that would be pretty cool to use. And then, and more, I don't know what the and more is going to be, but I'm interested to see what it is. But yeah. That's the end of the post, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more, and leave me your thoughts on these in the comments section below. But anyways, that's it. Peace, and Black Ops 4 hype.